What's the hype about Portland leather? A lot of you have been requested Portland leather review. You might be wondering if they use real leather, if it's any good, and maybe what's the deal with their almost perfect collection. So I bought these 3 crafts to conduct this review. In this video, I will dissect 3 of Portland leather's crafts, give you my honest findings and past experience and my overall impression of the brand. Previously, we have done a couple crafts from Portland leather. One was mini circle crossbody, another one was mini crossbody tote, if I'm not wrong. And I was very impressed with my findings for the price. I love the leathers they used. It's rustic, pull-up effect, very natural, minimally finished leathers, right in my alley. The craftsmanship was mediocre. The design was simplistic, almost like Etsy level. It's just layers of leather stitched together. There's not much refined work into it, but that's the level of price they're going for. Overall, what I paid for the products was very, very easily justified for the quality of leather and craftsmanship I found on these 2 items. I'm familiar with Portland leather goods for a long time now. The time I started my brand Pegai in 2016-2017 as an Etsy shop, Portland was a big player in the space or growing fast, and I was admiring what they were doing. Pretty rustic, American style leather crafts, handmade feel. I believe they started making things in Portland and then they moved over to Mexico. I didn't know as much details as I do now, as I visited Leon a couple weeks ago and I learned a lot more about where their leather comes from, how do they make their stuff. So overall, I was impressed with what they were doing so far for the leather community. And now we're going to dissect 3 more items and improve our understanding of the brand. The first one we're going to start with is Portland's Tote Backpack in their nutmeg leather. At first glance, I like the leather. It's a very nice, soft, but still full feeling pebbled leather. It seems like it's a natural tumbling, pebbling process, inconsistent pebbles. I like that natural distribution of the pebble sizes. And there is an oil impact that gives the color reaction. I always love reacting leathers. So it's a pretty cool leather selection in my opinion. The zippers are very smooth and a nice brushed gold touch. I like that as well. This is kind of new in other bags I reviewed from the brand. Craftsmanship wise, it's pretty consistent. It's a simplistic design, layers of leather stitched together. I don't see any red flags from the get-go, but we're going to learn more as we open it up. So we apply acetone to remove the finish on it, and as expected, a little bit of aniline coloring came off, and a closing layer of lac finish gives that gloss a little bit. It gives us a little bit water resistance here as well. You need pretty good clean leathers to accomplish this finish, so I am really liking the leather I find here. It seems like we need about 10 square feet of leather here. My leather estimate is about $35. To put together a craft like this, I give it about $45 in hardware assembly in Mexico. In total, $80 should be enough to cover a project like this. Given my estimate of $80 to make a bag like this, the price tag of $198 is very fair in my standards. It's less than 2.5 multiplier, so it's a pretty good value here. I love the leather. It's a simplistic craft put together in a nice, mediocre way, so it's going to be a nice bag for a long time. The next one will be the mini daisy wallet in violet color. The first impressions on this one probably going to be the last impressions as well. There's not much to it. There's a little bit more finish to this leather in my opinion, but we're going to see now, and there's only one snap holding it together. It's an origami style, There's no crafting involved in this. We're just going to pop out the snap and inspect the leather in detail. As expected, I find a little bit more pigmented plastic layer on top of this leather. There's a bit more corrective finish on this, and probably this is an embossed one. So this is a slightly lower grade leather than the previous example, but still not a bad choice. It is probably another full grain embossed semi-aniline finish on it. So this one needs less than half a square foot of leather, and it's a super easy assembly. Just put one snap on it. My leather estimate is $2, assembly is $1. In total, $3 should be enough to make a wallet like this. Fun fact, we just broke our record of dissection. This took only 30 seconds to open this craft up, and that was the fastest deconstruction we have ever done on this channel. And given my estimate of $3 to make a wallet like this, the price tag of $28 is a huge margin. This is a moneymaker for Portland leather. The last one will be the Almost Perfect Festival Bag. So this one is from their Almost Perfect collection. Some of you may be wondering, what is that? This is how Portland leather describes it. Since they use minimally finished, natural looking leathers, sometimes you get more than desired natural markings and imperfections on the leather, or sometimes in the crafting people make mistakes, less than perfect stitching and things like that. So they select this lower or less than perfect items to this category, and they sell it in a steep discount. At least that's how it's described. But in this one, to be honest, I couldn't find any bothering imperfection to me. Maybe I like natural looking leathers. Maybe they get it to this category because of the too much vein marking here, which doesn't bother me. I couldn't find any stitching errors that pops out or in a red flag level. So to be honest, this is actually looking better than the other bag that we got from the regular collection. And in their description, sometimes they say people like almost perfect bags more than the others, and this is a good example for my case. This leather also had super minimal layer on top, aniline coloring for darkening and making the color more consistent, and a little bit of a closure level to prevent the water and reaction of the other materials. It's very natural with the pull-up effect. It's, I think, my favorite leather out of all three leathers we inspected today. I think 4 square feet of leather will be enough for this project. My leather estimate is $15. It's not really complex or big item. $20 should be enough to cover the hardware and assembly. In total, $35 should be able to give us a bag like this. Given my estimate of $35 to make a bag like this, the price tag of $58 is a really good deal. So I think now I understand what's the deal with the Almost Perfect collection. This is the bargain side of the brand. I think the product is as good as the normal collection stuff for me. Maybe I'm lucky this time, or it's just created that way. The price multiplier is much lower here. You're getting a lot more value in terms of leather and craftsmanship for a great price. After dissecting these 3 bags, here's what I think about all these crafts today. My absolute favorite leather is the one I found, the cognac leather in the Almost Perfect Festival leather. I love the feel of that leather, the natural look, minimal finish, everything about it. And that item had the best value for the price. Second favorite leather for me was the Tote Backpack. It was more of a tumbled leather, still with a pull-up effect, minimal finish. It's my second favorite leather out of all today, and the value was still good, but not as good as the Almost Perfect item. And my least favorite leather, a little bit more finished, with a plasticky look on top, was for the Daisy wallet, and super simple craft. Value for the money was the lowest on this item as well, but as usual for most businesses, smaller items are the moneymaker. I'm not surprised about that. I already have some idea about Portland leather goods and what they do, but after today's dissections, that reinforced my understanding of the brand and the value they provide. So overall, it was very consistent findings with my previous dissections. I like the leather they use. Again, simpler designs, okay crafting for a great value and pricing. So some people ask me, aren't you guys competitor with your brand, with Portland? Why are you keep doing their videos? Well, I don't see this as a competition because what they do is significantly different than what I do with my brand. And this is kind of a service to the leather community from different aspects. What Portland does is a very specific market, different need that people are looking for. People are looking for good rustic feel leathers applied into simple crafts for a great price. So Portland is filling that need in the market in a great way, and we can see how fast they're growing, how much hype is in the internet going around, people talking great things about the brand, and we justify it by our inspections here. On the other hand, I'm focusing on a different need, different aspect, different customer base with my brand evolving that way. We have some similar items, overlapping values, especially in the past, but that's how we learn and brands find their niche markets. And I think Portland definitely focused on this area, and they're doing a great job. To me, it's a great service to the leather consumer, leather market, and I truly appreciate what they provide in terms of value. Even though I don't know anything about the owners, who is behind the brand, who makes these products, I just know now they use good leathers, they do great crafting for an incredible value, incredible price for the leather enthusiasts. I really want to thank them. If you're in the market for a very detail-oriented fashion piece leather item, Portland is not going to be for you. Their crafting is simplistic, it's in the mediocre level, but for the price, it's incredible. And if you're looking for fancy stuff, this is not going to be your brand. That's the only critique, but it's not even a critique because it's not something they're trying to do as far as I understand from their products. But if you're trying to expect that kind of result from Portland, you're not going to get it. This is what they do, and they're great at it. So that's as much as I can tell. What is it for, and who is it for, and who is it not for? Other than that, I think they deserve a big thank you for the value they add to the leather community. I appreciate their contribution.